Yes, Bitcoin dumped all the way down to our price target round about the $20,000 level where we had the CME gap. But guys, what is going to happen next? Are we going to hold the support and bounce from these regions, or are we going to see a dump even lower than the previous low? Because yes guys, I told you 3 weeks ago that we're most probably going to see the Wyckoff accumulation pattern and that Wyckoff is back, and I told you exactly this. And now we could expect that Bitcoin would come all the way back down to these levels, forming the spring underneath the previous low, which is round about here. So are we going to see that exactly this scenario is going to play out? Because at the moment we can see that the price movement exactly follows this trajectory. But guys, most importantly, we're going to look at the banks, because yes, the banks are totally collapsing. So is this the end of traditional banking? Guys, we're going to find out exactly that and what we could expect if the scenario is really going to play out and we're going to enter a major recession. So guys, if you want to find out more, watch the video until the end, smash up the like button and subscribe, and most importantly, activate the bell so that you always stay up to date. Welcome back to B for Crypto, and yes, I hope you all are doing great after this massive dump for Bitcoin. But guys, if you've been watching my previous video, you exactly knew what is going to happen, and we perfectly hit our price target round about the $20,000 level. And at the moment we can see that Bitcoin broke this very important downward sloping trend round about the levels of $19,900, and we came all the way back down to the $19,500 level. But at the moment we can see that the price movement is over the 200 moving average on the daily chart. But guys, we're first going to look at the news to find out what is going to happen in the crypto market and also in the overall market. Are we going to see a total collapse of the banking industry? And yes guys, why is the crypto market down today? And yes, we can see that some of the headlines are the interest rate and the expectations from the Federal Reserve. But guys, we also had the jobless reports that came out exactly today, and they came in worse than expected. And that is why we saw this massive dump. And also we are seeing a lawsuit against KuCoin because they have failed to register the security. But guys, this is all just fun. We're going to find out why are we seeing this major dump in the markets at the moment. And yes guys, the banks are absolutely getting crushed at the moment, and we are going to go over to the next article to really find out what is going to happen. Because yes guys, all of these numbers are all US banks and top US banks. They're all starting to collapse. And yes, Silicon Valley Bank gets a Silvergate moment. SVB partnered company SVB Financial said that it was selling its entire security portfolio at a major loss as part of the plan to raise over $2.2 billion in capital. The result was a collapse in SVB Financial share price, which shed 60% during the session in a move all too familiar with the crypto market. Participants who remember the recent demise of Silvergate Bank. Instead of the FTX debacle, however, SVB pinned the blame for its trouble on the Financial Reserve and the policy of quantity tightening, a process of removing liquidity from the economy, which has pressured risk assets across the board. And yes guys, we are seeing that it totally destroyed the SVB Financial Group. And if we go over to the next article, we can read some SVB customers are struggling to wire fund out the bank. And yes guys, we are seeing that some of the Silicon Valley Bank's customers are struggling to transfer funds out of their bank accounts, numerous sources tell TechCrunch. So guys, we're seeing that a lot of people can't get their money out from one of the biggest banks in the United States. And guys, at the moment we are seeing that the financial market and all the banks are really getting destroyed from this quantitative easing, and that these customers can't access their money. And guys, if we go over to the next article, so over on Twitter, Joseph Wang posted, so SVIB has 200 billion in assets, on which 116 billion are securities. About 80 billion of these are highly qualitative liquid assets that could be sold to repo for cash. Looks good until looks like that 150 billion of their deposits are uninsured. That means that those people could lose everything if it goes under. They have the incentive to run. And yes guys, usually I would expect a bank like this to get some emergency liquidity from the lender of the next of last resort, the Federal Home Loan Banks. But it looks like they are already borrowing 15 billion. This is equal to their capital. I'm guessing that they may have some trouble borrowing some more. And guys, this is the problem, because what is going to happen if the banks are not going to get these bailouts? Yes, they're going to get bail-ins. And this is why they're going to take all of their customers' money and they're going to stop all the withdrawals, and they're going to keep all of your money. And that's why, guys, it is very important that you're going to move over with all your life savings to Bitcoin. Because yes, Bitcoin dumped a little bit, but guys, we're seeing that the total financial market is going to collapse. And yes, guys, eventually the US dollar is going to lose its value and all your money is going to be lost. And that's why dollar cost average into Bitcoin. And if you want to buy Bitcoin on the spot market, make sure to follow my link in the video description below and sign up to BITGET, where you receive a massive deposit bonus of 5,000 US dollars. But guys, why is this going to happen? And yes, guys, because of fractional reserve banking. And this means if you're going to deposit 2,000 at your bank, you could expect that yes, 90% of this money they're going to lend out to someone else. And this means if 10% of all of the customers are going to withdraw their money, the banks are ruined. And that's why, guys, don't trust the banks, because yes, this is just a major Ponzi scheme and it's going to collapse. And the economy is telling us that we're going to see a massive collapse. And that's why, guys, protect yourself by buying Bitcoin exactly now. We're maybe seeing this dump towards the downside, but guys, overall, in the long-term perspective, we're going to see that Bitcoin will go only up. And guys, we're going to go over in the charts and we're going to find out what are the next levels that we really have to keep an eye on, and are we going to see the Wyckoff accumulation pattern. So at the moment on the daily chart, we can see that yes, we dumped all the way to this level, and at the moment Bitcoin found support at the 200 moving average and also at this downward sloping trend. So yes, guys, we have closed this gap, but let's go over to the CME gap to find out, yes, guys, this was the CME gap where I was talking about, and this is blue highlighted on the daily chart, because yes, we can see that the CME gap closed on Friday, and the markets reopen on Monday with this price difference from the CME futures chart, because the markets from the CME futures are not open during the weekend, and that's why we saw this gap. And guys, we eventually came all the way back up and we closed this CME gap, and at the moment we are holding these levels. But guys, what could we expect? If we go over to the weekly chart, we can see that yes, on the weekly chart we had this major M formation, and the price target is exactly in these levels of 18,500 US dollars. So guys, could we see this major dump even lower? At the moment the price movement of Bitcoin is holding these levels. But guys, if we're going to turn on the VPVR on the weekly chart, yes, we can see that on the volume price range, we can see that yes, we have some support exactly in these areas, but we can see that yes, here's a major gap in between these levels of 18,500 US dollars and all the way down to the levels of 17,100 US dollars. So guys, are we going to see this move all the way to these regions? Guys, we're going to go on the weekly chart and we're going to find out, are we going to see the Wyckoff accumulation pattern? Because yes, guys, 3 weeks ago I showed you that we're most probably going to see the Wyckoff accumulation pattern, and guys, until now it looks like that we're exactly going to see this price movement. So according to the Wyckoff accumulation pattern, we should see the spring lower than the previous low, and the previous low was round about the levels of 15,550. So we could expect, if this Wyckoff accumulation and the secret of the whales is really going to form, we could expect that the price movement of Bitcoin comes all the way back down to these lows, and that we're going to see the spring, and then we're going to see the price movement go all the way back up until we're going to reach the SOS, the sign of strength, that Bitcoin has found the bottom around the levels of 15,000 US dollars, and that we could expect that the next bull run will start. Guys, if you want to find out more and always stay updated, make sure to subscribe and smash up the like button and turn on the bell notification so that you always get notified when I upload a new video. But guys, let's go back on the daily chart, and yes, at the moment I think that we're going to see a consolidation round about these levels, and maybe we're going to see a pump towards the upside and retest the 20,500 US dollar level. But guys, all in all, with all of these major news, I expect that Bitcoin is first going to consolidate round about the 20,000 US dollar level, and maybe we're going to see a black swan event and the total crash of the economy and the banks, and we could expect a dump towards the downside. But overall, guys, if we zoom out, yes, guys, buying in these areas is really going to change your life, and we're going to see that the price movement of Bitcoin will turn around in these areas, and that we're going to see a massive bull run towards the upside, breaking the 100,000 US dollar level. Guys, thanks for tuning in, and make sure to be for crypto, and we'll see each other in the next video.